Have you ever looked at something so grand, so ancient, that it just completely blows your mind? Today, we're diving deep into one of the most magnificent and mysterious structures ever created by human hands, the Egyptian pyramids. These aren't just piles of stone. They're a testament to an entire civilization's ambition, belief, and incredible ingenuity. Let's travel back in time, more than 4,500 years ago, to a place called Giza, just outside modern-day Cairo. Imagine this: a bustling landscape along the Nile River, thousands of workers, and the ambitious vision of a powerful ruler. This is where the story of the pyramids begins. So, what exactly were these colossal structures for? They were tombs. But not just any tombs. They were eternal resting places for the pharaohs, the kings of ancient Egypt. To their people, pharaohs weren't just rulers. They were considered gods on earth. And when a god leaves the mortal world, they need a launch pad to the heavens, a stairway to the afterlife. That's what the pyramids were designed to be. When we talk about the pyramids, one name stands above all others: the Great Pyramid of Giza, built for the pharaoh Khufu. This isn't just the largest pyramid. It's also one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, and incredibly, it's the only one that still exists today. For nearly 4,000 years, it held the title of the tallest man-made structure on the planet. Think about that for a second. For millennia, nothing built by humans surpassed its height. Now, let's get into the mind-boggling statistics. The Great Pyramid is made up of an estimated 2.3 million stone blocks. Each block, cut from limestone and granite, weighs on average 2.5 tons. That's about the weight of 2 small cars. Some of the granite blocks found deep inside, forming the roof of the king's chamber, weigh as much as 80 tons. And here's the kicker: all of this was achieved without the help of modern machinery. No steel cranes, no hydraulic lifts, no power tools. It was all done with human strength. Simple tools made of copper and stone, and an astonishing level of organization and intelligence. This is the question that has fascinated historians, archaeologists, and engineers for centuries. How did they do it? How did the ancient Egyptians quarry these massive blocks, transport them across miles of desert and river, and then lift them hundreds of feet into the air with millimeter precision? The truth is, we don't know for sure. It's one of history's greatest unsolved mysteries. There are many theories, of course. Some suggest they built long, straight ramps of earth and brick, while others propose a more complex system of spiral ramps wrapping around the pyramid as it was built. Another theory involves using water-filled locks to float the stones upwards. Whatever the method, it required an incredible understanding of physics, logistics, and project management. The precision is what truly stuns experts today. The base of the Great Pyramid forms a near-perfect square, with each side measuring around 756 feet. The difference in length between the longest and shortest sides is less than 8 inches. That's a level of accuracy that would be impressive for modern builders with lasers and GPS, let alone for a civilization from the Bronze Age. It wasn't just about size, it was about perfection. And this precision wasn't just limited to its shape. The pyramids are also an astronomical marvel. The 4 sides of the Great Pyramid are almost perfectly aligned with the 4 cardinal directions: north, south, east, and west. This alignment is so accurate that the margin of error is incredibly small. This tells us that the ancient Egyptians were master astronomers. They studied the stars to guide their construction, likely using specific constellations to find true north. Their entire worldview was connected to the cosmos, and the pyramids were their most profound expression of that connection. Let's step inside, shall we? Venturing into a pyramid is like entering another world. It's dark, the air is still, and you're surrounded by tons of stone. The journey inwards was meant to be a symbolic one. You'll find yourself navigating long, narrow passages that slope upwards and downwards. One of the most impressive features inside the Great Pyramid is the Grand Gallery, a magnificent ascending corridor with a high, corbelled ceiling. It's an architectural masterpiece in its own right, leading up to the very heart of the pyramid. Deep within this stone mountain, you find the chambers. Typically, a pyramid had a series of chambers, including a subterranean one cut into the bedrock below, and others higher up. The most important of these was the king's chamber, the final resting place of the pharaoh. This room was usually lined with solid granite and contained a sarcophagus, a large stone coffin meant to hold the pharaoh's mummified remains. But the pharaoh wasn't meant to be alone on his journey. Ancient Egyptian religion was centered around the concept of the afterlife. They believed that death was not an end, but a transition to an eternal life. To ensure the pharaoh had a successful journey and a comfortable existence in the next world, the pyramids were filled with everything he might need. This included furniture, clothing, jewelry, food, wine, and even boats. Golden treasures, intricate carvings, and personal items were all sealed within the tomb. Unfortunately, this also made the pyramids a massive target for tomb robbers. Over the thousands of years since they were built, almost all the pyramids were looted, their treasures stolen, leaving us with only clues and empty chambers. But the pyramids weren't built in isolation. They were part of a larger complex of buildings. Around the main pyramid, there were often smaller queen's pyramids for the pharaoh's wives, as well as mastabas, which were flat-roofed tombs for other members of the royal family and high-ranking officials. There were also mortuary temples, where priests would perform daily rituals and leave offerings for the deceased pharaoh's spirit, a long causeway, or covered walkway, would often connect this temple to another temple closer to the Nile. The entire complex was a city of the dead, designed to function for eternity. One of the most iconic figures guarding this sacred ground is, of course, the Great Sphinx. Carved from a single piece of limestone bedrock, this mythical creature with the body of a lion and the head of a human stands as an eternal watchman over the Giza Plateau. It's believed that the face of the Sphinx is that of the pharaoh Kafir, who built the second largest pyramid at Giza. The Sphinx adds another layer of mystery and grandeur to the site, its enigmatic gaze having watched over the desert for millennia. So, who were the people who built these wonders? For a long time, the popular image was that of slaves, toiling under the whip of the pharaoh. But modern archaeology has painted a very different picture. Excavations of a nearby workers' village have revealed that the pyramid builders were skilled, well-fed Egyptian laborers. They were not slaves, but respected craftsmen who took pride in their work. They lived in an organized community with bakeries, breweries, and medical facilities. In fact, evidence of healed bones shows that workers received medical care. They were part of a massive national project, a community effort that brought together the best engineers, architects, and laborers in the kingdom. As centuries passed, the practice of building massive pyramids waned. Later, pharaohs were buried in more hidden tombs, like those in the Valley of the Kings, in an attempt to protect them from robbers. But the legacy of the pyramids endured. They remained a symbol of the power and glory of Egypt's old kingdom, even to the ancient Greeks and Romans, who came thousands of years later. The pyramids were already an ancient awe-inspiring sight. Today, the pyramids continue to capture our imagination. They are a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and millions of people travel from all corners of the globe to stand in their shadow. To be there in person is a truly humbling experience. You realize that you're not just looking at a building. You're looking at the crystallized ambition of a civilization. You're seeing the physical manifestation of their beliefs about life, death, and the universe. The pyramids are more than just an architectural achievement. They are a time capsule. They teach us about ancient Egyptian society, their religion, their scientific knowledge, and their incredible ability to organize and mobilize human effort on a scale that is hard to comprehend even today. They stand as a powerful reminder that with a shared vision and unwavering determination, humans are capable of achieving the seemingly impossible. So the next time you see a picture of the pyramids, don't just see a triangular shape in the desert. See the millions of stone blocks, each one placed with purpose. Hear the echoes of the thousands of workers who dedicated their lives to the project. Feel the weight of history and the enduring mystery that surrounds them. The pyramids of Egypt are not just a wonder of the ancient world. They are a wonder for all time. Thanks so much for joining me on this journey back to ancient Egypt. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you won't miss our next adventure into history. Let me know in the comments what ancient wonder you'd like us to explore next. Until then, stay curious.